I'm curious who recognizes this video. A fairly famous Herobrine sighting from all the way back in December 2013 in Minecraft Pocket Edition 0.8.0, gaining over 2 million views, showing a player going about his business when, all of the sudden... Yeah, this is my video. Let me explain. This channel is not my first rodeo on YouTube. I've actually been around for almost 12 years at this point. The Overthinker is just a more mature take on some of the topics that interested me as a young teenager, but never had the knowledge or thought process to tackle a video style like this. Back in 2013, I was only 13 years old and didn't know anything about video editing and didn't have a computer. But I did have an iPod Touch. The beautiful fuzziness of 2013 YouTube. Without this jailbroken iPod, it's unclear when I would have gotten into making stuff like this. Of course, I did the usual Let's Play thing, but I also took a crack at making my own Herobrine sightings, which are all awful, by the way. But these were popular at the time, and some of the most viewed videos around the MCPE community, and I wanted in. And so, as sort of a continuation of my Odd Sound series, I think it makes sense to look through some of my old sightings from my previous life on YouTube, which is very fitting because those videos heavily influenced my own, sometimes influencing them a bit too much. This horrendously edited, plagiarized video is far and beyond the most successful and famous thing I have ever put out on the internet. And I hate it so much. For those unaware, this is fake, of course, but it's also a blatant ripoff of someone we've talked about here before. That's right, Joseph. His video titled Herobrine Sighting Number 3 on the Xbox 360 shows him walking to what appears to be a mineshaft, and when he turns around to close the door, there's our creepy friend watching our backs. And well, what does my video, uploaded 5 months later, show? The literal exact same thing, except way worse editing. And for some reason, amassed a whopping 6.25 times the amount of views. Joseph, I am so sorry for that. And some might think I really cashed out here, but monetization was not enabled during the majority of this video's lifespan. And it only amounted to about $40, not the couple of thousand that some may think. Regardless, this video is not worth that amount of money, or the 2 million views it has, but for the sake of it, how did I make it? Well, there's a few logistical things we need to get out of the way first, mainly skins and name tags. Skins in MCPE did not technically exist in the vanilla game, but there were ways around this through editing some game files. I'm able to access these easily using iFile on my iPod, which is jailbreak only. All you have to do is replace the default char.png skin, which is Steve, with another skin file of your choice, but keep in mind, this only works for your specific game, because all players in a given map will share the same skin based on your char.png file. If I change my skin to Herobrine, then everyone else in that world looks like Herobrine to me. This made it extremely easy to make sightings back in the day of 0.6.1, through a simple series of images, especially since name tags weren't even a thing until the next major update. I popped out a few of these videos and always made the argument that recording using Display Recorder while he was spawned in was just too laggy to show, which actually kind of helped justify my poor editing in the viral sighting by just calling it a lag spike from him spawning in. Things got a little more complicated though with the release of 0.7.0, which gave us player name tags, which I thought for a little while marked the end of my Herobrine sighting series, until I noticed what is probably a bug. You have the ability to change your name at will in these early versions, and if you delete the name entirely, it defaults back to Steve. But if you hit the spacebar instead, you can have a mostly blank name tag, which is exactly what I was looking for. Now, against a bright blue sky, it's clearly noticeable, but against a darker material like dirt, combined with the low quality of Display Recorder on an iPod Touch, it was good enough to make another sighting. And too bad I can't say the same for my editing skills. From what I can remember, this was made 100% on my iPod using Display Recorder and a video editing app called Splice, which was not very fancy, but it let me make cuts, title cards, and add music, so I was happy with it. Now let's go over the video really quick, starting at the top. It's always best to show yourself joining the world from the title screen, just to add a little bit more realism that you truly are the only one on that map. And given the circumstances of how skins work in this version, I made sure to open up the armor menu to show that I had the Steve skin, and our first cut can be found here while I'm in the crafting menu. In fact, I remember specifically, it was right as I was going to craft the pants that I cut it because there's a slight hesitation in my taps on screen. I did it like this because it was the easiest cut to make since there's nothing moving on screen to make the cut stand out. Except you can clearly see I wasn't even standing in the same spot between the cuts, so already a dead giveaway. But as of this point in the video, I have the Herobrine skin, so I can't open the armor menu anymore. Now let's skip straight to the sighting where the most blatant cut of all time is made. Man, that hurts to watch. I can't believe I tried to justify that being legit. Then a very slow turn back to make sure I definitely saw him, turn away like you didn't, then cut again to let the player leave and change my skin back, and walk back out acting all surprised. I hope you can all agree that this is truly awful. So now it's time to recreate this, and see if 11 years is enough time for me to improve my editing skills, and at least make this somewhat convincing. I won't recreate it beat for beat, instead I'll do some things that make a little more sense. Mainly the reason for me going to that mineshaft in the first place. Which, yes, this is a real mineshaft that I kind of used. Well, let's be honest, it was just an excuse to rip off Joseph's video. I love you, dude. Caves didn't exist in Pocket Edition, so I plan to use this as a TNT mine, and I stated that many times back in the day. So in the remake, I collected those materials just to have it make more sense as a whole. Now with all that being said, I'm going to let the recreation roll on through in the spirit of old YouTube. So relax for a few minutes and imagine you're back in 2013. And there you go. I don't know who this might strike a chord with, but this was probably my most fun video to date. For a while, I debated if I wanted to even include anything from my old channel here on the Overthinker, but stuff like this, I don't mind because it doesn't show my face, which is honestly the reason why I made the switch and started brand new. And there's plenty more that I can look back over from those days, and maybe we can reminisce a little more. Let me know in the comments if you remember this disgusting video, and let me know what you think of the remake. I never once thought I would make a video like this, but it was a blast, and I hope you all enjoyed this little look into my past. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all again soon.